Have you ever inherited a set of beautiful, sparkling crystal and just wondered about its story? Well, today we're going to dive into the world of a true American icon and help you finally identify your Lenox crystal.
Maybe it's tucked away in a cabinet or it only comes out for special occasions. We're about to go on a little treasure hunt to solve the mystery of that gorgeous glassware. You might be surprised by what you find. So let's get right into it.
First things first, what exactly are we talking about here? Lenox, which you probably know for its incredible fine china, launched its crystal line back in the 1960s. The whole idea was to create a high-quality American alternative to those big European brands, and wow, did it take off. It quickly became a staple for formal dining.
So what makes this crystal so special? It's really all in the science. See, Lenox crystal isn't just glass. It's lead crystal, which means it has at least 24% lead oxide mixed in. That's the secret ingredient. It's what gives it that satisfying heavy weight in your hand, that incredible sparkle as it bends the light, and, of course, that signature bell-like ping when you gently tap the rim. The brand has such a rich history. It started way back in 1889 as a small art studio and just grew from there. The crystal line really hit its stride in the 60s, and by the 80s and 90s, oh man, it was the thing to put on your wedding registry. That historic Pennsylvania factory closing in 2002 really marked the end of an era for the company. Okay, let's get to the really fun part. We're about to look at some of the most popular, most iconic patterns Lenox ever made. So get your glasses ready. You might just get a quick and satisfying ID right now. First up, we have Charleston. This is the definition of classic crystal. If your glass is covered in these deep, crisscrossing cuts that form a beautiful diamond pattern, you are looking at a traditional masterpiece. It was designed for maximum over-the-top sparkle. Next is Firelight, which is a total 180 in terms of style. This one is sleek, it's modern, almost architectural. The dead giveaway here are those clean, straight vertical lines running up the bowl. Some versions even have a gold rim for an extra touch of class. And here we see a completely different technique. This pattern is called Eternal, and it was a massive, massive wedding registry favorite. Instead of those sharp cuts, it has these delicate frosted floral designs that are actually etched onto the glass. It gives it a much softer, more romantic vibe. Next up is Tuscany, and this one strikes a really perfect balance. It's not as heavy or formal as Charleston, but it still has that sophisticated sparkle from its light, elegant cutting. It really is a best of both worlds kind of pattern. And finally, in our lineup, we have Desire. This one is super contemporary, and its most recognizable feature is that clean, elegant platinum band right around the rim. It's so simple but incredibly chic. So what if you didn't see your pattern? No problem at all. Now we get to become detectives. This next section is your personal 4-step guide to solving the mystery of what's sitting in your cupboard. Here's our plan of attack. We'll start with the most obvious clue, the maker's mark itself. Then we'll look at how the glass was decorated, analyze its actual physical shape, and finally, call in the experts if we're still stumped. Okay, step 1, find the mark. Most Lenox pieces have a really faint, acid-etched Lenox logo on the bottom. You're probably going to need to hold it up to a bright light and tilt it around to see it. Check the center of the base first. And just a heads up, some of the very early pieces only had paper labels that are long gone by now, so don't give up if you can't find it right away. Step 2 is absolutely crucial. Are we looking at cut or etched crystal? Look really close. Cut crystal has sharp, deep grooves that create those sparkly facets, like we saw in Charleston. Etched designs, on the other hand, are frosted onto the surface for a much softer look, like the flowers on Eternal. Figuring this out can literally cut your search in half. All right, on to step 3, the anatomy. You have to look beyond just the bowl. Is the stem totally smooth, or is it faceted? Now look at the very bottom of the base. Do you see a starburst pattern cut into it? And here's a real pro tip. For patterns with repeating cuts, literally count them. The number of vertical lines can be the one tiny detail that distinguishes two very similar patterns. Okay, so you've gone through all the steps, but the mystery remains. Don't worry, it is time to call for backup. There are some fantastic resources out there that can help you finally put a name to your pattern. Honestly, your best bet online is a website called Replacements Limited. It is a massive, and I mean massive, visual database. You can just scroll through all the patterns, and they even have a service where you can send them a photo, and their experts will identify it for you. It's amazing. And hey, if you're going to send a photo or use any kind of visual search, please do this one thing. Photograph your glass against a dark, solid background. It makes all the cuts and etchings just pop, giving you and the experts a much, much clearer view of the pattern's details. Identifying these vintage pieces is so rewarding, but it's also really interesting to see how the Lenox brand itself has changed from that classic registry era to what it is today.
This really highlights the evolution. The classic Lenox you've probably inherited was American-made, traditional lead crystal. But today, if you buy brand new Lenox, it might be made in Europe, and it could even be lead-free crystal to meet modern standards and preferences. It's the same brand, just a different chapter in its story. Ultimately, this whole process is about more than just finding a name. It's about this idea right here, preserving the craftsmanship of the past so beautiful pieces can be used and loved again. It's about connecting with an object that someone chose with so much care, probably for a wedding or some other huge milestone. So go grab that glass, start your detective work, and find out for yourself. Every single cut, every little etching is part of a bigger story. A story of design, of family, of celebrations. The only question left is, what's your pattern story?